Gotham will never be the same. Batman has gotten the powers of Superman and has become unhinged, even more so than usual. Batman was already causing traumatic brain injuries, but now with the new upgrade, his ideology has changed as well. Zero tolerance for any sort of crime. Even his girl Catwoman is on his hit list, and NIghtwing was her only hope. You really think you have nothing else to teach me? What about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Last year you said it was indispensable. That was the word you used, indispensable. You're not even listening to me, are you? Robin trying to get Batman's attention while they're on their usual patrol. Apparently, they were out tonight on a mission to find and rescue some woman who'd been kidnapped by the Silver Banshee. But they'd had absolutely no luck at all that night. And that's when Batman hears a voice he's not even supposed to be hearing. There's enough here to start World War III, the voice goes. This voice was coming from so far away, but for some reason, the Bat could hear it all so clearly. Robin, this way, keep up. Keep up? What's with you tonight? Both heroes reached the warehouse where the voice was coming from, and that's when Bruce realized he had another ability. The Dark Knight had obtained X-ray vision. 6 goons inside, cheap hires but heavyweight, smuggling an arsenal. Batman says, putting his new powers to great use, but Robin was completely lost and had no idea what Bats was talking about. I don't get it. What are we looking at? Robin replied. Let's go, Batman ordered. The duo made their way to the warehouse, and that's when Robin realized every single call he made was spot on. A mile away and you called it. 6 goons, an arsenal, Robin says, all while beating down on the crooks. As the beatdowns were being handed out, one of the goons decided to crack open their new toys. Hey idiot, that's a rocket launcher, don't! A goon yelled out. Even he thought that was overkill against just Batman, and more importantly, he didn't want to get blown to hell. Whoosh! Bruce, despite all the new abilities, could not control them, and his new senses overwhelmed him. Hearing all of Gotham plus a rocket being fired probably will do that to a person, and because of that, he just couldn't react in time. Batman! Robin screamed. Boom! The entire warehouse went up in flames. While all this was going on, Superman was dealing with his own predicament. Clark was also out in search of the Banshee. During his search, he realized that his super hearing and vision were gone, and then things kept spiraling. No, not my flight, Superman says as he goes crashing straight down into his and Lois's apartment. Smash! Lois? I'm fine. Honey, what happened? And then a familiar voice emerges from right outside Clark's trashed apartment. Superman. As the Man of Steel turned, he sees none other than the Dark Knight flying right above him, eyes glowing red, his costume burnt from the warehouse explosion in Gotham. We need to talk. A few days prior, both Clark and Bruce attended an antiquities gallery at a Metropolis museum. Man of Steel. That has a nice ring to it, Mr. Wayne, Clark said to Bruce as a journalist. Does it? Tell you the truth, I think it sounds a little over the top, Mr. Darn, I'm so bad with names. As they were wrapping up their facade of not knowing one another right before his interview with Clark was about to end, he came across a woman with a bizarrely familiar tattoo on her neck. That tattoo, I've seen it before, Bruce said to himself. I'll never understand how guys could go into battle wearing a dress. Now your dress, on the other hand, Bruce flirting with the mystery woman. All the woman said was, Cawdor. Cawdor? Before Bruce could even figure out what was going on, Silver Banshee jumped right out of this woman's body. Eyes! The brooch of Cawdor is mine at last. Soon my curse will be broken. I will finally be free. Banshee reveals, with the Cawdor in hand. The girl is mine, Banshee says, grabbing a hold of the woman she came out of and smacking Bruce away. She continued on. The brooch's magic will bind me to this perfect young body forever. Back off, Banshee. Superman flying in to save the day, but Banshee puts him down, screaming. Ah! Yes, when I came to Metropolis, I knew you'd try to stop me. Not this time. Ah! Banshee screaming yet again to put Clark down. And that's when the Man of Steel realizes that something is wrong. Sure, Banshee's scream affects him, but never like this. It was like he was growing weaker. Sorry, Banshee. Batman eventually joins the party using his grappling hook to steal the brooch. No touching the exhibits. And just like with Superman, she easily puts the Dark Knight down with her scream, and just like that, the Silver Banshee has escaped the duo with the brooch. The brooch is mine, and with it all the power to be rid of this decrepit cage of a body and fulfill my heart's desire. Goodbye. Superman took Bruce's unconscious body to Alfred, who surgically removed all the shrapnel from Bruce's body. His body was shredded and could even say near death, but only a few moments afterward, Bruce awakes in perfect health. Weird. Back to the present, Bruce needed to learn more about his newfound powers, so Superman takes him through some kind of training course with some robots inside the Fortress of Solitude. And Bruce picked it all up, learning it all from the heat vision to the ice breath in a matter of time. But more importantly, they needed answers on what was going on with them. So they brought in the one person who would be able to shed any light on the situation. Zatanna. "Any luck on the Silver Banshee?" Batman asked. "No, I put a word out to all our magical friends, but there was not even a trace echo of her. It's like she never existed," Zatanna replied, giving some really bad news, but there was more. She continued, "But I uncovered a little more about the brooch she stole. It first popped up centuries ago at Cawdor Castle in Scotland. You might recognize the name from Macbeth," Batsy replied. Zatanna then continued, "The brooch was rumored to grant its owner their heart's desire. If Banshee was holding it when you were hit by her scream..." "You think Superman and I wanted this to happen?" Bruce immediately cuts her off. "He's defenseless now, and there's no sign that things are going to change back." Well, one thing's for sure, Batman was definitely not going to stand around doing nothing. So he decided to head back to the city, head back to fighting crime. "Keep looking for Banshee, Zatanna. She's the key," he said, hovering above Clark and Zatanna. "I need to get back to Gotham, but the whole world needs Superman. The longer he's powerless, the worse it is for everyone." Those were Bruce's last words right before flying off. What followed after, no one could have expected, not even Robin or Alfred. He became drunk with power. The Dark Knight was everywhere. He even went all the way to Santa Prisca Island in the Caribbean to face off with Bane. "Yes, I knew it was only a matter of time. I knew he would come. Murciélago, I'm here. Show yourself," Bane said, anticipating his fated reunion with Batman, not knowing things were about to be so much different. Wham! Came Batman out of nowhere, hitting Bane into the ground. "The Bat, look at you. You have evolved into something greater than before," Bane said, still trying to taunt Bruce. "Yet even as we change down through the years, we stay the same, the great adversaries. Come, Bat, share your new power with me." Both men went at it for some time, exchanging blow after blow, but all things must come to an end. Only that the ending to this almost brought about the end of Bane's life. "I can feel it. You're not holding back anymore. You're letting go, embracing your power. At last you know what it means to be Bane. Now, Bat, try to break me," Bane said, still taunting the Bat. Rah! As Bane jumped in for his finishing strike, Batman punched a hole right through his stomach, stopping him instantly, almost killing him. As Bane said, he was no longer holding back. This was no longer the Batman we know, and Catwoman was about to find that out firsthand. Batman continued ridding Gotham of its criminals, and what's even worse is that he no longer answered to the Justice League. "Ooh, pretty kitty," Catwoman said, reaching out to grab some rare cat-looking antique. "Put that down, Catwoman," a voice emerges from the shadows. The Batman had come. "I know that manly growl," Catwoman replies, still trying to be cute and sensual with Bruce. "I said put it back," Batman reiterated, more fiercely than before. "I'm trying to make this month's rent. You'll forgive me if I choose to borrow from a drug lord's embarrassingly obsolete wall safe," Catwoman replied, still as jovial as always, but things were about to get dark fast. "What's with the Catwoman? It's me, sweetheart. You sound like a cop or something. I heard you've been going through some changes lately, but you're starting to scare even..." Before she could even finish her sentence, Batman immediately grabbed her by the neck. "I have changed. I see things clearly now, and I have no more time for games. I'm taking you in," the Dark Knight replied, still with his firm grasp around Catwoman's neck. She tried escaping, but there was no clawing her way out of this one. Rah! Batman yells, throwing Catwoman halfway across the room into some furniture. "You can't hear it, but I can. Gotham's finally quiet," Bruce said, standing over Catwoman's unconscious body. He'd finally lost his mind completely. "Batman," a voice emerged from behind Bruce. "Pick on someone your own size." Nightwing came to Catwoman's rescue with one heck of a kick straight to his dad's jaw. "I felt that. I've forgotten what that's like," Batman replied, clenching hard to his jaw. "Get up and I'll show you again," Nightwing replied, trying to contemplate his next moves. "Don't do this, Nightwing. You don't want this fight. I can see your heart beating faster, not just adrenaline, fear. You know this will only end badly," Batman said as he tried to conjure more fear within Nightwing. "Like your fight with Bane? I heard what you did. If he wasn't pumped full of venom, you'd have killed him. Now you're out of control and I'm going to stop you before you hurt anyone else," Nightwing stated, ready to go blow for blow with his deranged mentor. "Stop me? You're just a normal man. I used to think like you. I used to think that was enough, but how could you ever stop me?" Batman condescendingly stated. He probably forgot how much he taught Nightwing. "I had a good teacher," Nightwing said, tossing one of his Eskrima sticks at Batsy, missing initially, but eventually catching the Dark Knight off guard. Okay, now he was really pissed. What followed was a straight-up light show. Pshaw, pshaw, Batman trying to use his heat vision to put a hole in Nightwing. Dick really did have a great teacher as he kept on dodging every single attack the Bat threw his way. But with Superman's powers, their scuffle would not last long. He would then send Nightwing right out the windows of the building. That would have been the end of Dick, but Batman spared his adopted son, saving him from tasting pavement. With his hand wrapped around Nightwing's neck, he gave him one last warning, a warning also intended for every member of the Justice League. Another hit will kill you. Did you really think this would work? It's over, Nightwing. I'll leave you at the manor. Alfred will help you, but tell him and tell the others, don't try to stop me again. Batman's final warning to literally every superhero. Back at the manor, Alfred was struggling to make sense out of who Bruce has become. Multiple fractures, lacerations, missing teeth. Even under these circumstances, I'm not sure I'll ever forgive Master Bruce for this, Alfred said to Clark and Zatanna. Whatever magic gave him my powers affected his mind. He's as much a victim of this as Dick, and it's up to us to help him, Clark replied, still trying to make sure Alfred didn't lose his faith in Master Wayne. At this time, Robin had effectively come up with a way to track Banshee using the Batcave's computer. Bruce would freak out if he knew I was using his computer for this kind of thing, but I've created a magic map, Robin said. Clark no longer had his powers and was pretty much useless. Him facing Banshee with no protection would be like suicide, and Alfred pretty much knew that. With Master Bruce gone, I found myself with time to spare. And you know what they say about idle hands, Alfred said, handing Clark some upgraded version of a Batsuit, the Superman logo on his chest. Roles had been reversed, and a new Bat team was formed to try to put a stop to Bruce. However, members of the Justice League decided to pull up on the juiced Batman, also having the same idea, but maybe trying to execute it a bit differently. A lot is about to pop off, and hopefully, Batman can be saved before he becomes unredeemable.